First, I would say there's a huge detach from what government thinks and what we actually experience on the field. So I'm not sure if government is actually in touch with the business community who actually experience this. Every ambition comes at a cost. So HAFTA is a big ambition. For your information, we have layers of regional policies like AfTA. So if you go to, I was in Liberia early this month, and Liberia also has a union of 4 countries: Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and Guinea-Conakry. They have their own trade union. If you go to Southern Africa, there's COMESA. If you go to East Africa, in fact, Southern Africa and East Africa, they have, that's COMESA. Then Southern Africa has SADC. Okay, and then you have the EAC. And then within the EAC, they have their own policies, and COMESA is there on another layer also covering the East Africa. So you have all these conflicting policies or trade terms, trade policies that are largely incoherent. First, for me, you have the last issue touched on, the issue of mobility. We cannot be talking about free trade without free movement of people. Someday 2 years ago, a friend of mine who's Rwandan landed in Ethiopia, and he called me that he can't get in Ethiopia because he needs a visa to get into Ethiopia. And he has a Rwandan passport, and his country is a member of the EAC, right? It doesn't make sense. So if I cannot move around, how can goods move around, right? If we as Africans cannot move around. So we have these issues. And you have also the cost of transaction, the cost of movement of these goods, because of these conflicting policies at regional levels. 4 years ago, we moved the container from Apapa, 40 foot, to Zambia, filled with machines produced from Nigeria for our factory in Zambia. Zambia is landlocked. This container has to go through Johannesburg. So went from Lagos to Johannesburg on water. Got to Johannesburg, and we had to pay. We moved the container. I paid only $2,500 to move the container to Johannesburg. We had to pay $7,000 for a road bond, not the truck that will move from Johannesburg to Lusaka, but for a road bond, because it's going to go through Botswana before it gets to Zambia. So I have to pay $7,000. This is like 3 times more than the cost of moving from Lagos by water to Johannesburg, right? And then just a road bond, right? Mandated by the SADC union that if you're crossing, if your truck is crossing, you have to pay all this. So you have all these multiple things, and they do not respect the HAFTA, you see? So it doesn't matter. I see now that even some African countries are beginning to even broker deals with European countries and China to make trade deals that are even more effective than African countries. For example, now I export a lot of coffee out of Kigali to France. Rwanda now has a trade agreement with free trade agreement with France. Today, when we import coffee into Paris, I only pay the import VAT. I don't pay the import duty. Right. So why are we not effective with all these things? So there are a lot of potentials on the continent in Africa today, but I see that there's this incoherency in the policies around all these things. We also have issues around undocumented cost or unpopular cost, I would say. For example, I have 2 vans in Lagos we use for deliveries across our coffee shops. For these vans, we have around 96 permits we have to get. I mean, it's insane. Some of these permits even cover Ogun State, Ondo State, Ebonyi, places the vans would never go to. These vans have a daily route, move from Ogba, come to VI, go to Ikoyi, drop off in Lekki, go back. What the hell am I using this for? I don't know. Why do I have to get 96 permits? What do I need it for? These are a lot of costs it doesn't make sense. And if you don't have this permit, you run into some of these government consultants on the road. They stop your van and it's like, okay, where is the Ondo State permit? And they ask you at Yalowero, where's Ondo State permit? You don't have it. You're in trouble, right? So we have all these Unpopular costs. Nobody's talking about it, but they are there. And then we have also infrastructural issues, right? I have a factory now for more than 10 years in Ogbomoso, producing cassava. And I've slowly seen me moving 30-ton truck from 80,000 naira 10 years ago to over 1 million naira. All right? I grew up in Ilorin. When I was growing up, I remember my mom put me on the lap. We come to Lagos to see families. The road between Oyo and Ogbomoso has been horrible. I grew up seeing this road like that. It's 43 kilometers. Sorry, 43 kilometers between these two cities. The road has been horrible. I grew up seeing this road like this. We have a forum, Lagos Business School, Agri-Business Club, and I tell some of our members, I say, the cost, when we talk about inflation, a lot of times, I know we like to talk about fancy things like, oh, it's the exchange rate, No, of course. I put a truck from Oyo to Lagos, and then the truck has to go on these horrible roads. Normally 43 kilometers, under 1 hour, you're done. But the truck can be there for the next 48 hours. It's stopped there. And this is a cost we're talking about, right? Because it's there, your food products, your drugs, everything is stocked there. So for me, these are key issues. These are the practical issues we're facing. Lastly, we moved coffee from Rwanda a couple of days ago at $1.8 per kilo by here. We do that regularly. But to move the same coffee onward by road to Cotonou, it costs around equivalent of like $3. I mean, 5 hours flight out of Kigali to Lagos, 1.8. By road, I mean, if you're a good sportsman, you can even bike from Lagos to Cotonou. And then it costs double by road from Lagos to Cotonou. Why? Because you have multiple checkpoints on the road. The drivers have to tip. And then, of course, I pay for that. The drivers, the transport companies are going to transfer it to me. And I also transfer to you, the end users, right? So these bottlenecks are there. And I would say there's a huge gap. There's a huge disconnect between what government thinks and what business guys think. And I think before we can actually have something coherent, there needs to be a collaborative platform between the government. And when I mean a collaboration between the government and the private sector, I do not mean a political platform where some private sector and these guys are put together, to just real practitioners who are doing this, and government value all these feedbacks, and some of these things are able to be adjusted. Thank you.
Thank you so much.